Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, so we will continue our lesson with critical thinking standard CTS. So before this we have learned about what is critical thinking. And then we have learned about what are the critical thinking tools and methods that you can apply. Now we are looking at what is the critical thinking standard. And then we will discuss details on each of the CTS. So basically we have 9 critical thinking standard which is related to the thinking behaviors. So for this session, at the end of this discussion, so I hope that all of you can explain critical thinking standard. What is the CTS? You can list and explain. Then you can describe the characteristic of critical thinkers. What are the if you want to become a critical thinkers, what are the characteristic? And then you can apply the standard to evaluate information. So at the end of this lecture, I will give you very simple exercise for you to apply what you have learned about CTS. So before we continue with or before I discuss more about what is CTS, so I want to share with you some of the finding that is I think is very important for you. As after this you will maybe you want to not further your study, but you want to have your job, and then what will happen in the future about the job description and also related to the skills that needed for the future job. So this is actually finding I found or I extracted from the World Economic Forum report 2020. So as we know that 2020 early March, at the end of year 2019, we have attacked by the pandemic COVID-19. So we have all over the world impacted by the COVID-19. So in terms of business adaptation also also have a very significant impact to the COVID-19. So this is the planned business adaptation. So this source is actually from the Future Job Survey, World Economic Forum. So I will give you the full report, so for you to get some idea what is going on in the future. How about the job task or job in the future, and then what are the skills that you need to have in order for you to survive, and then to become employee. So based on this, so we have the accelerated digitalized of work processes. Of course, when we have pandemic COVID, so I think most of the world, or most of the countries, they have lockdown. So what happened? So all the work become digitalized. So you need to work from home. You cannot attend or you cannot have physical contact. So all the I think 100%, maybe almost 100%, all the activities we done in the digital form. So we use the digital tools, for example, video conferencing. And then that which is activities that related to you is our education activities, right? So now last semester and also this semester we have the ODL, which is you don't have the face-to-face education activities, teaching and learning activities, but we have the digital form of teaching and learning process. And then provide more opportunities to work remotely. So before this, we are not thinking that you can have learning at your home, right? Maybe you can imagine that you can have remotely working, work from home. So now response or the impact from the COVID-19, so we have this kind of new ideas or how you can done your job activities or your tasks. Okay, and then accelerate automation of tasks. So most of the time, okay, when we want to have digitalized, so of course, okay, we will try to automate our tasks, okay, to make the task easier. So for example, okay, before this, you need to register your subject physically. You need to come to the campus, okay, but now you can register online, okay, and then you can have the same process but using the automation concept. Alright, and then we also have the accelerate the digitalize of upscaling, reskilling. So if we have the digital form, okay, of work processes, so you need to have the skills, okay, in order for you to support the digital process. So for example, okay, you want to attend the class, so you need to have a skill to work on, or to you know how to operate the technology, okay, regarding to the digital form of online learning, okay. Okay, and then also we have survey on the accelerate ongoing organization transformation or restructuring. So this is the finding that we got from the employers survey, okay, that they have to restructure, of course, okay. Sometimes they need to shrink the size of the organization, okay. So that's why, okay, most negative impact of COVID is about jobless, okay. So some of the employee, okay, they don't have they need to find a new job, okay, because of the restructuring and because of the economy impact, okay. Okay, and then temporarily assign worker to different tasks. Of course, before this you had do task A, but now you need to do task B, okay, because of the because different concept of tasks or work processes, okay. And then temporary reduced workforce, of course, okay. So that's why there are so many people, okay, in our country jobless, okay. And then permanently reduced workforce, temporary increased workforce, okay. And then some of it you need to increase the workforce. For example, in terms of the delivery, okay, food delivery, for example. And then we have, so some of the positive effect is we have a new job, okay, increasingly. Okay, and then no specific measures implemented, okay, permanently increase workforce. So this is the findings from the survey, okay. Okay, next, okay, this one is I want to share with you the technologies likely to be adopted by 2020. So you need to be ready for this, okay, even though you are not in the computer science or in the technology based area, but I think you can have some of the skills, okay, for you to get try to find the workshop seminars that related, okay, to your area, okay, in terms of the technology. Okay, so if you look at the statistic here, so 2018, okay, is the line, okay, here, which is the black line, okay, and then 2025 is the blue color, okay, and then the gray is the difference, okay. So in terms of the cloud set computing before this, okay, if you look at the difference here, okay, 2018 before this is not famous as 2000, in the future 2025. So means that all your tasks or all your activities after this will be on the cloud, okay. And then of course, okay, big data analytics, okay, will become will be adopted, okay, more on 2025, okay. And then we have Internet of Things, okay, and connected device, okay, encryption and cyber security, okay. We have the difference is the 29%, okay. And then we have AI, okay, 8%, text, image and voice processing, okay, no difference, okay. And then we have e-commerce, digital trade, okay, robots, okay. And then so basically it is all about the technologies, okay, likely can be adopted by 2020. Okay, next, okay, I want to share with you the top 20 job roles in increasing and decreasing demand. Okay, so if you look at the decreasing demand, so in terms of data entry clerks, okay, which is if you can imagine that in the future 2035 most of the process will be digitalized. Okay, so data entry clerks maybe we don't have, maybe we have the system that can support the or can replace the data entry clerks. So that is the drawbacks, but actually we will have a new job scope. Okay, so administrative and so on. Okay, in terms of okay, for example, construction labours will reduce. Okay, and then door-to-door sales because we have the digital marketing. Okay, and then increasing demand. Okay, what you can have for your future. Okay, so risk management specialist, okay, organizational development specialist, okay, you can be strategic advisor, okay, you can be management and organization analyst, okay, and then digital marketing and strategy specialist, okay, which is top 4. Okay, so this is one of the famous job in the future. Okay. Alright, next. So this is the top 10 skills, okay, for you to have in the future 2025. So if you look at this one, okay, we have indicators here. Blue color is the light blue is the problem solving skill that you need to have. Okay, and then this one is self-management, working with people, technology use and development. So if you look at the color, which one is the most skills that needed? Okay, the light blue, right, which is the problem solving. So I think this subject is very good for you because it is one of the way for you to upskill your problem solving, okay, from the critical thinking skills. Okay, so this is the top 10. So the first priority of skills, which is analytical thinking and innovation. Okay, so I hope that you will use this subject, okay, for you to polish your critical thinking and your creativity. Okay, active learning and strategies, okay, and then reasoning, problem solving, ideation. Okay, so if you look at this one, most of it is about critical thinking. Okay, it's not about the technology itself, it is about your mind, how you solve the problem, okay, how you tackle the problem. Okay, alright. Okay, so this is also the top cross-cutting special skills of the future. Okay, for example, if you want to have product marketing, okay, specialized skill, so the emerging job cluster will be related to data and AI, artificial intelligence, people and culture, marketing, product development, sales. So this is your area, I think. Okay, digital marketing, for example. Okay, and then of course you can also have business management. Okay, so but you need to have the people and culture, marketing, product development, sales related job. Okay, so this is the skills that you need to have, right? Okay, now we will discuss on the critical thinking standard, okay, which is our aim for this session. Okay, what are the critical thinking standard that we have in our syllabus? Okay, so basically it is standard, okay, which must be applied to thinking whenever one is interested in checking the quality of reasoning. So critical thinking standard, okay, critical thinking is about you want to solve the problem, right? You want to analyze the problem, okay, and then you find the solution, the best solution. So the CTS is about you want to check the quality of reasoning about the problem. Okay, so you let's say you have the problem and then you want to check whether it is follow all the CTS standard, okay, the quality of reasoning about a problem or situation. So in our syllabus, okay, we will use 9 intellectual behaviors. Okay, so this is a standard that we use for so you need to look at the clarity, okay, accuracy, precision, relevance, depth, breadth and logic. So we will go one by one. Okay, so the first CTS, which is clarity. What is clarity? So if you look at the word, you know that it is related to the clear. Must be when you look at the example or the situation or the issues, you understand it's very clear. Okay, so understandable. Okay, clear. The meaning can be grasped. to free from confusion. So you don't have any question on that situation or on that question. Okay. Okay, so what are the questions that you can look at, okay, in terms to find is it the situation is clarity enough, okay? So you need to look at the could you elaborate on that point, okay, or do I need to elaborate on that point? Could you express that point in another way? Could you give me an illustration? Okay, could you give me an example? Let me state in my own word what I think you should state. Okay, and then I hear you saying, am I hearing you correctly or have I misunderstood you? Okay, so why is clarity is the first CTS, okay, critical thinking standard? Because if the situation or the case is not clear, okay, not understandable, so it is you cannot okay, go through that. Okay, so that's why clarity is a gateway standard. So if the standard is unclear, one cannot determine whether it is accurate or not. Okay, you cannot check, go to the next critical thinking standard to check. Okay, so for example, okay, what can be done about the education system in Malaysia? So this kind of question, okay, in order for you to find the solution, okay, or for you to suggest the creative idea, so it is very difficult because the question is very broad or not specific. Okay, what can be done? So what is the question you want you to do? Okay, so you can rephrase, okay, the question which is what can educators do? Okay, so more specific on we want to know what educators can contribute, okay, to ensure that students learn the skills and abilities, okay, which help them understand the world in which they live and function as ethical persons in that world. So you know exactly, okay, who, okay, and then what is the case is about. Okay, all right, so that is clarity. Okay, so thinking is always more or less clear, so it is helpful to assume that one does not fully understand a thought except to the extent that he or she can elaborate, illustrate and exemplify it. Okay, okay, so next we look at the CTS number 2, which is accuracy. So accuracy is related to accurate, means that perfect, okay, free from errors, mistakes, or free from errors, free from mistake or distortion, okay, true, correct. Okay, so this is all the characteristic of the accuracy. So sometimes, okay, a statement can be very clear but it is not accurate, okay, or not correct. Okay, for example, okay, this statement, most fresh graduates will only get their job after 6 months. Is it true? Is it true that fresh graduate after 6 months then they get their job? Okay, I think sometimes, okay, some of the fresh graduates before they graduate or before their convocation, so sometimes they get, okay, very good job. Okay, so this statement can be argued by certain cases. Okay, so this is a question, okay, that you can ask, okay, to check whether the statement, okay, or the situation or the issues is accurate. Okay, how could I check that to see if it is true? How could I verify? Okay, so once you get the situation or once you want to solve the problem, so you need to look at the accuracy. Okay, is it correct or not? Okay. Okay, next we look at the number 3 CTS. Okay, so number 3 CTS is precision. Okay, precision is exact to the necessary level of detail. Okay, it's very specific, okay, precise. So a statement can be both clear and accurate but not precise, as in for example here, Jack is overweight. Okay, you know that this, you understand, okay, this statement is very clear, okay, and then it is accurate but not precise. What is the meaning of overweight? Okay, so what is your meaning? Is it, so you need to very specific, okay, what are the meaning of overweight, or what are the measurement that you want to prove that. Okay, okay, so thinking is always more or less precise. So it is likely that one does not fully understand a statement except to the extent that he or she can specify it in detail. So this is the questions, okay, that we can ask related to the precision, okay, for critical thinking standard. Okay, next we look at the relevance. Okay, so a relevance is related to the relating to the matter, okay, which is when you talk about something, so it will relate to, is it relevance to that case or the situation. Okay, and then also relevance is related to the logical relationship between that case and also what you want to propose. Okay, and then the importance to the matter under the considerations. So a statement can be clear, accurate and precise, okay, but not necessarily it is relevant. Okay, so that's why you need to look at that. Okay, for example, students often think that the amount of effort they put into a course should be used, okay, in raising their grade in a course. Okay, so for example, okay, you always attend the class, okay, so you think that from that you can have increasing, okay, your grade. So it is not relevant, okay, not related, but there is a relationship sometimes, okay, but not 100% correct, okay, or relevant. Okay, maybe it is clear, accurate, precise. Okay, maybe this statement is true, but it is not closely. We can say that there is a relationship between the effort and also the amount of effort. Okay, also in terms of the grade. Okay, but some of the thinkers maybe they say that of course when you have more effort you will get very good grade. Okay. Okay, so you can look at the question, okay, here for you to understand about the relevance. Okay. Okay, and then thinking is always capable of straying from the task, question, problems or issue under consideration. So it is useful to assume individuals have not fully assessed thinking except to the extent that they have considered all issues, concept and information relevant. Okay. Okay, next we look at the 5. Okay, depth. So depth is related about complexity. Okay, in depth you want to know more detail. Okay, multiple interrelationship implies thoroughness. Okay, in thinking through the many variables in situation, you want to know that situation or issues from different angles. Okay, from all angles. Okay. Okay, for example, okay, you have a statement say no to drugs. So this is very, very general, right? Okay, what are the meaning of this? Okay, so you need to look at very depth. Okay, what are the details that you can have? Okay, so for example, okay, we should use for number of years to discourage children and teens from using drugs. So it is the statement is everybody agree with this statement. This statement is very clear, okay, understandable, okay, accurate, precise and relevant. Nevertheless, those who take this injunction to solve the social problem of unhealthy drug use fail to appreciate the true complexity in the problem, okay, because they do not look at the impact of the drugs to the social life. Okay. Okay, so you need to in the situation, okay, or the case or the issue, so you need to detail and then you must mention about, okay, for example, how do you influence, okay, the society, okay, or the community, okay, say no to drugs. So you need to detail out the implication of drugs, okay, the bad or the negative, okay, about the drugs. Okay, so that is about that. Okay, so you need to do not just put a very simple statement for very big issues. Okay, so you need to have very detail on that issues. Okay, number 6 is about breadth. Okay, encompassing multiple viewpoint. Okay, and comprehensive in view, wide ranging and broad minded in perspective. Okay, for example, the 7 suspects of fire tragedy in a Tahfiz school. So I hope you remember this case in Datuk Kramat, were found under the influence of drugs. When arrested and didn't show any sign of regrets of their act. They were also said to have done such act due to revenge. So you can look at this statement. Is it breadth? So this statement is clear. So you need to have argument on this. What points of view are relevant to these issues? Is it relevant? So it is it am I failing to consider this issue from an opposing perspective? So this is only one perspective, one view. So you need to look to the another view. So this level is not very easy for you, because you need to think all the perspective. Why this happened? So you cannot judge the situation only on the side of for example, you have 2 sides, so only on the other side. But you need to look at the opposition side. So this is a question that you can look at. Next, number 7 is about logic. Make sense. So logic is about make sense together, no contradictions, in keeping with the principles of sound judgment and reasonability. So the question that focus on the logic, so logic is you can see that statement or the issue is make sense, to that situation. That's what you say follow from the evidence. Sometimes, you say you see the situation and then you find out that it is not logic. So you need to look at the why it is not logic. And then you need to investigate. For example, does that follow from what you said? Does what you say follow from the evidence? So normally we look at the evidence to find out whether it is logic or not, and then we want to know we want to make sure that it is logic. And educators know that looking at standardized tests of students in schools and the actual work they produce, that students are often deficient in basic academic skills such as reading, writing, speaking, and the core discipline such as math, science and history. So despite this evidence, teachers frequently conclude they don't need to change their instruction to improve student learning. And in fact, nothing is wrong with the way they fundamentally teach. Given the evidence, is the conclusion logical? Does the conclusion logical follow from the facts? So this is the example of the situation or the issues that we have. So when once you have you want to propose something, for example, you want to have ODL session, so you need to look at all the aspects. So if you want to look at all the aspects, so then after that you will realize that whether your for example, is it logic to do the assessment something like this? Is it logic to have the online class like this? Right? Next, number 8, which is the significance. Significance means the importance. So is it the situation is important, being of consequence, having considerable of substantial meaning. So what is the most significant information needed to address in this issue? So this is kind of question that is important for you to ask, okay, to know whether it is important or significance. Okay, how is the fact important in the context? Which of these questions is the most significant? Which of these ideas or concept is the most important? Okay. Okay. Okay, for example, okay, in college, few students focus on important questions such as what does it mean to be an educated person? What do I need to do become educated? Okay, instead students tend to ask questions such as what do I need to do, Jen, and an A in the course, okay, to get an A in the course. How many pages does this paper have to be? Okay, so this is most of the question the student will ask. Okay, how I get this A for this subject, for example. How do I satisfy the lecturer? Okay, but this one the question is okay. It's not I say that it is not true or correct. Yes, but it is not critical, not follow the critical standards for the significance. So for you to become a very critical thinking person, so you need to ask question that is very significant to the whole idea of the education system. Okay, alright. Okay, the last critical thinking standard, which is the fairness. Okay, so we need to look at the situation or issues which is the fairness, free from bias, okay, dishonesty, favorism, okay, selfish interest, deception or injustice. So this is the key point for the fairness. So for example, am I sympathetically representing the viewpoints of others? So is it I bias? I only say from my opinion, and then I only agree with that person A, for example, because of I know that person. Okay, so that is not fair. So is the problem addressed is in a fair manner? Okay, or is personal vested interest interfering? Okay, with considering the problem from alternative viewpoints? Are concepts being used justifiably? Okay, is it can be justified? Okay, so if you can justify why you do that, and then it is fair, so it is acceptable. Okay. So for example, okay, two students live in the same dorm. One is cool-natured and the other is hot-natured. Okay, so this is what happens when you are in the hostel, right? So the hot-natured student likes to keep the window open, okay, during winter. So the hot-natured student insisted that it was too uncomfortable with the windows closed, right? So you only look at your viewpoint. Okay, so actually it is about the selfish, right? So her reasoning centered only on her viewpoint that she was hot and could not function well. What happened to her roommate? Okay, so this is about the fairness. So actually all the critical thinking standard, basically you have sometimes implement it or apply it to your lifestyle, right? Okay, now we look at the characteristic of critical thinkers. Okay, so actually we have go through this, okay, in the critical thinking tools and method, okay, which is I listed the disposition, okay, of the critical thinking. So okay, this is one of the list of characteristic. Okay, so this is from the Insight. Okay, from the Insight website. Okay, from the article. So you can try to link to this, click this link and then to view the full paper. So basically this is characteristic from the APA Delphi report, okay, from their research. So using the expert, okay, analysis, okay, they have the expert review. So this is the characteristic for you to become a critical thinkers. So of course you need to have the inquisitive with regard to a wide range of issues. Okay, you need to have very deep I can say that you need to very critical on inquiry, okay, asking question. This is the top characteristic or the first characteristic. And then you need to concern to become and remain well informed. Okay, alert to opportunities to use critical thinking, trusting in the process of reason inquiry. Okay, and then self-confident in their reasoning skills, open-minded. Okay, regarding divergent worldviews. Okay, flexible when considering alternative and opinions. Okay, so you need very open-minded, understanding of the opinions of other people. Okay, so you need very open. So this is also related to open. So you need to hear, okay, others' opinion. Okay, fair-minded. Okay, when appraising reasoning. Okay, so honest in facing bias. Okay, prudent in suspending, making or altering judgment, willing to reconsider and revise your views. Okay, so this is all the characteristic for the critical thinkers. Okay. Alright, so for this session, okay, I have a very simple exercise. So I want you to read this online article, okay, titled Tips for Studying Online and at Home, okay, for university students. So you try to find this one from this link, click this link and then read. Okay, after that, okay, I want you to answer the questions, okay, based on 9 CTS, okay, which is this one. Okay, I want you to answer the question. So you can have something like this in a table. So please follow the 9 CTS critical thinking standard. Okay, and then this is type of questions, okay, that you can answer. Okay, for example, okay, from the article, okay, what is the article all about? So in terms of the clarity, okay, and then in terms of accuracy, is the information is true, accurate or not? Okay, in terms of the precision, is the article or the information inside the article is very detailed? Okay, and then it is it relevance, okay, to the issue, to the title? Is it depth enough? Okay, is it answering all the questions, okay, related to the title or the issues? Okay, and then is it the article is breadth? Okay, is there another way to look at this issue? Okay, so what is your opinion about that one? Okay, if you have any idea, so you can just list, okay, from your point of view. Okay, and then is it logic? Okay, the tips or the solution or the suggestion mixed by the author in the article. Okay, okay, and then significance, is it the problem, the issues, okay, or the suggestion is significance, okay, to our title, okay, for the article? And then is it fairness, is the article written from one side perspective or the author have looked at the both sides? Okay, all right, so I hope you can try, okay, because this exercise is very good for you to apply all the CTS, okay, as the standard is actually just answering the question. Okay, so if you don't try to do that, maybe you could not understand or you could not make sure that you really know, okay, what is the critical thinking standard for each of the thinking behavior, okay, from the 9 CTS here. Okay, so this is a checklist. Okay, what is your conclusion or argument? So let's say you say that, oh, the article is not that. Okay, so you just mark X. Okay, and then let's say the article is not fairness. Okay, it is only from the one side. Okay, so at the end, okay, you can see that how many right, okay, or how many correct, or how many positive. Okay, and then you make your own conclusion or argument. Okay, okay, and then how to check mechanism using CTS. Okay, for example, it is for example, you have issue viral. Okay, nowadays we have a lot of information that viral. Okay, and then sometimes it's not true, sometimes it's true. So how you do check that using CTS standard? So we will look at if you want to look at all the items from the 9 CTS, or let's say you want to have this, okay, 4 CTS dimension only. For example, is it the viral accurate, true. Can you find out it's true? So, oh, let's say the viral is true. Yes. Okay. Is it relevance? Okay, to the others. Okay. Let's say, oh, not relevant to me. Okay, for example. And then breadth. Does it comes from multiple sources? Okay, or is it come from one point of view only? Okay, and then is it significance? That is benefit to others. Okay, who else will benefit from this? Okay. Okay, so this is how we can use after this when you got the viral things. Okay, all right. Okay, so this is the summary, okay, from the 9 CTS. Okay, so this is all the question, okay, that you can ask, okay, for you to make sure that each of the CTS, okay, thinking behavior, okay, for you to know whether and then for you to make sure that, okay, each of the issue is covers, okay, all the 9 CTS. Okay, so we have come to the end of our lecture. So before, okay, you end the session, so I want you just to reflect, okay, what you have learned. So you try to explain all the 9 critical thinking standard, okay, list and explain, okay, and then try to describe the characteristic that you know, okay, at least 5, okay, and then try to apply the critical thinking standard to evaluate information. Okay, for example, you find any articles or any very short issues, okay, then you try to apply to the CTS. Okay, alright, so I think that's all. So thank you very much, class, for your attention. So inshallah we will see and discuss further on the issue in our live class. Okay, thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.